Good morning, good day, good night, good everything. Rhetorical Arts here, workout partner for your creative mind. And I want to take the time to conclude the three-part Channeling Your Ego, Channeling Where Your Energy Goes in your Art and Life series. I know it's a long title, but yeah. So, in part one, I talked about just the way and the things that can occur and how it can occur that your ego and your energy goes too excessively towards other people, and what you think about other people, or what you think about things and versions of yourself other than who you actually are. In part two, I discussed what happens when your energy goes so into yourself, where you become so focused, overly and excessively focused on yourself, that you can end up getting stunted, that you end up stagnating, that the computer screen of your being kind of glitches. This part three, I kind of want to address some ways that you can better channel your ego and how you can best channel where your energy goes in terms of the art that you're making and the life that you're creating. So, glad you guys are on this walk with me where we work this out. Let's talk about it. So, I think the first thing that is a key to channeling your ego and channeling where energy goes in your art and your life is, and it's interesting because often the questions are in the answers. It's before you can channel that, you have to be a channel for that. So the first key is being a channel for your ego, for where your energy goes in terms of your art and your life. And how do we do that? What does that mean? Well, if you look at like a channel on a TV show, right? It's like a channel on a TV show has multiple different shows that show up on it, has multiple different episodes of those shows. Some of those shows might be drama, some of those shows might be comedy, some of those shows might be adventure, some of those shows might be action or thrillers or suspense or mysteries. But regardless of whatever type of show shows up on the channel, the channel has a series of these shows that start and end, that show up at a certain time and end at a certain time, that enter the channel and exit the channel, and there are different episodes for all of these shows. You're going to have a number of energies that will show up, that you will, when you start to become a channel for your ego, when you become a channel for where your energy goes, a lot of shows are going to show up. And a central function of being a channel for your energy, being a channel for where your energies and your efforts go in terms of what you're making and the life you're living, is allowing yourself to be a throughway for your energies, to allow your energies to enter you and exit you, to allow your energies to show up, to start and to leave, to flow in and out. That is what being a channel is all about. In the same way that a channel hosts a series of shows, and those shows are there for a while and then they end. Some take longer to end than others. When you start to become a channel for your ego, when you start to become a channel for where your energy goes in your art and life, you discover that you are able to do the same. That different episodes of energies are going to show up, and some of those things might be negative energies, might be more positive energies. Some of those energies might be somewhere in between. Some might be sad, some might be happy. But regardless of the type of energy that shows up, regardless of the episode that energy shows up on, where you are in your life, maybe certain energies show up and you feel like it's not the best time, for you to be watching that energy and how it shows up on your channel. Maybe it's, you feel like you're not able to handle that energy when it shows up on your channel. But the key is to let those energies flow in and flow out. And that is the key to channeling your energies. The first, you have to become a channel. So what is it that makes a good channel? What makes a channel do what it does successfully, right? So let's look at TV again. What is it that makes a channel a good one? It's when there's a lot of people who are paying attention to it. It's when there's a lot of people who are watching that channel. And so, you know, a channel like Cartoon Network, USA, FX, they have audiences. They have folks who pay attention, who make time to pay attention with the intention of watching their favorite shows. So one of the key things to being a successful channel of your ego, to successfully channel where your energy goes in your art, in your life, is to pay attention to your intentions. To pay attention to your intentions. And when you start to pay attention to your intentions, what begins to happen is that your channel begins to cultivate the kind of things that people are looking to show up. That it begins to channel and cultivate the kinds of things that you're looking to show up in your life, the kind of energies you're looking to show up in your life. And so you have certain channels on TV, or TV channels, that are largely drama based, or they're largely, you know, a channel like Comedy Central, largely what? Comedy based, right? And it channels those shows. Those are the energies, those are the things that show up on that channel. It's the same thing with when you start to become a really good channel, and you begin to pay attention to the intention of what you're channeling, the energy you're channeling. What starts to happen is that you very quickly begin to really fine-tune, kind of like a radio tuning in. You begin to fine-tune what shows up on your channel. It kind of like those old school TVs where you had to kind of have it turned just right to get the clearest picture. You begin to be able to picture and to pull upon the energies that you wish it would have within your life and within your art. That you begin to draw in the inspiration. What becomes inspiration, what becomes in your spirit, your attitude, your approach. So that's a really key thing to being a good channel, is paying attention to your intentions. And you have to, if you're an artist, you have to do that first before anybody else. Before you even think about what other people are paying attention to in terms of your work. And so paying attention to your intentions becomes really, really important in that process. And so, well, I guess another question that shows up, and this kind of leads me to my final kind of key to channeling your energy, is, well, what intentions should you attend to? And I'm gonna offer you one. I'm going to offer an intention of intentions, sort of meta intention, for you to attend to. And the intention I would encourage you to attend to, as we're on this walk right now, is to pay attention to the intention of what you think about yourself, about what you believe about yourself, about what you say about yourself. Pay attention to that. And pay attention to what other people think about themselves, to what other people say about themselves, to what other people believe about themselves. So you have to pay attention to that. You have to pay attention to the actions and what you end up doing out of that. And you have to pay attention to what other people end up doing out of their own beliefs and ideas and thoughts about themselves. And here's the thing that happens that causes the ego to go out of control, that causes a lack of being able to channel where your energy goes. Those wires often get crossed, right? And so on one end, when those wires get crossed, you have those problems showing up of, like, you're putting way too much attention into other people. Well, you're putting too much attention, not intention, but attention towards other people. And whenever you do that, you no longer are handling the things that are for you to handle. Because when by paying attention to what you think, say, and do as yourself, and you pay attention to what other people think, say, and do as themselves, you get to handle the things that the energies that you're meant to handle, and they get to handle the energies that they're meant to handle. Where things get crossed up or mixed up is when you start paying attention so much to somebody else and what you think of that person instead of what they think about themselves. You start paying attention to what you think about them. You do that to the point that you give them something that they're really not supposed to handle. Because in truth, that energy is for you, and you're giving that away. In the same way, whenever somebody starts to pay attention to what you're doing and what they think about what you're doing, they give you an energy that you're not meant to handle. And especially when you take that on, you're taking on an energy that's not yours. It's theirs. It's for them. And so by paying attention to what you think about yourself and believe about yourself and what you do in and of yourself and what someone else does and believes and thinks in regards to who they are, when you do that, the wires don't get crossed. You don't get mixed signals. There are mixed signals that you start to get when you do that. And you don't want your wires to get crossed. You don't want mixed signals. You just don't want that, because then you can't get a clear picture. And it's like that when you're listening to a radio and like you're trying to tune in so you can hear it clearly, but you're not quite on the right dial, and you're getting that feedback, that fuzziness. Like you might be able to hear the music briefly, but then like you're getting like feedback of fuzziness, or you're getting like a mix of what you want to listen to in some other show, or some other radio show that's happening at the same time, that's what happens. You get mixed signals when you're not attending to what you intend, and you're not also paying attention to what someone else intends for themselves. Because we're not at this, we're supposed to attend to ourselves and to be filled up with the energy that allows us to do and to pursue the possibilities we're meant to reach. And at the exact same time, by reaching out towards what others are doing, what others are thinking, we can learn something about ourselves. But we have to understand that what it is that they're thinking and believing and doing has to do with them, and not take that on, nor attempt to insert our energies onto that other person. And so that's a key. That's a key. That will allow you, on one end, not to have that situation where you are mixing signals. And at the same time, that'll allow you to see the signs that are meant to guide you in your life. Because when you begin to pay attention to what other people believe about themselves, that becomes a really awesome. You get to receive things that are for you in that process. That process will inspire things. It will call on the things that are in you, right? It'll call on the things that are in you. You'll begin to recognize that anything that you get from that other person that inspires you or pisses you off or whatever has nothing to do with that person, has everything to do with what's already working inside of you. And then you're able to deal with those things and be honest about those things, or be inspired by those things. And so the issues that occur where you're putting too much of your energy into other people, your ego is going too much towards others, or the issue where your ego is going too much towards yourself, doesn't happen. It doesn't happen when you pay attention to the intention of what you have for you, what you believe about you, what you think about you, what you do out of you, and you begin to pay attention to the intention of what others think about themselves, and what others believe about themselves, and what they do out of themselves. That, my friends, is how to channel your ego. How, at least my take on how to go about channeling your ego to make your art and to create your life. So yeah, hope you guys got something out of that. That was a fun little workout on my end. And I will see you guys again soon. Until next time, it's Rhetorical Arts, workout partner for your creative mind. All right, guys. Peace.